Hi everybody, just going to do a quick video just to show how to use variables in Python. So it's really just getting set up with the basics and being able to work and operate with variables and potentially start to understand the different variable types. Okay, so Python uses duck typing, so we don't have to declare upfront what type the variable is. So I'll explain that via an example. Okay, so just open up PyCharm, get yourself a new project. I am going to hijack the video. No, I'm going to hijack the example from the previous video, and I'm just going to work out of here. Okay, just speed things up a bit. So I'm in main.py. I've cleared everything out. Okay, so we're going to start off our program. So I just want to, and I'm just going to explain a little bit kind of how I work and how I operate a little bit. So I'm just going to do basic print. So print is a function that's going to display text back at its terminal for us. Okay, so I'm going to put in, it's a numbers variable example. So I'm literally following these slides. So I think I'm on slide 29 at the moment. Okay, super. So okay, so before I'm going to do an example, and obviously it's going to be a numbers example on how to use a variable. I'm going to see if my program works first. So literally I'm just going to run it. So I can see that it's printing out numbers, variable, examples. Everything's worded together correctly. I'm happy that I can move on from here, okay? So I'm going to start gathering up some information. So I want a program that stores a numeric value. So let's keep it simple and say that we want to capture someone's age. So I want to store someone's age in a variable. So a variable is something that we use to store data. It remembers. So it's like a container, and we can have multiple variables, but we'll keep it simple, and let's say we just operate one variable in this example, and we do it as someone's age. So I want to create a variable called age. So I'm just literally going to give it a name. Age, I'm going to say, is equals to, so it's, let's say we capture Jonathan's age, be very realistic, and we say age equals to 21. Okay, this is, so that statement that we have on line 2 is storing the numeric value of 21 in a variable called age. So from here onwards, later on in my Python program, I can access that value through this variable called age. Okay, so let's test it. So I've assigned the value. Now I want to say, well, you know, maybe tell me what's in this value. I want to use it. So I'm going to say print age. Okay, so, you know, make small changes, run it, and see the changes happen. Ah, cool. Okay, see it there, 21. So it prints out the value. That means that the assignment has worked, and the program now remembers. So when I go print age, it prints out 21. Okay, brilliant. Now this is where we start to talk about different types. So 21 is a numeric value, and I've stored that into a variable called age. So if I kind of articulate this in a different way, I'm saying that age is storing a numeric value. So I'm going to say that this variable's type is going to be a number. So basically Python's got to recognize this to be an integer, an int class. Okay, so can I see this? Well, we can, yeah. Print. Okay, so I'm going to print out, instead of just printing out the age, I'm going to print out the type. Type, another function, is going to tell me what type the variable age is. I'm going to put the spaces in just so we can see a little better what we're doing. Okay, and I'm going to come down to the next line. So print whatever type the variable age is. So it's not going to print out 21. I wanted to tell me what type it is. So we've stored a number in it. It should be a number. Okay. Test. So, okay, so this 21, so numbers variable examples, that has come from the print in line 1. The 21 that we see here is coming from the print that's on line 3, and the print that's on line 4 is telling us that the variable called age is of class int. It's a number value, okay? And that's one of the kind of cool pieces of this. And if we were to kind of, get curious or question how or why things are working, watch this. Okay, this keyboard is getting the better of me. And that is really a Jonathan problem. Now, 21. So 21 is not a number anymore. It's in double quotes. It's a string. That's the cool piece of this puzzle, okay? So now I'm storing a string value into age, okay? So the question is, what do we think we're going to get when we run our program? Number variables example. The 21 still prints out, but it's telling me that it's of class str. It's a different type. So 21 as a number is of class int because it's a numeric value. When it's in double quotes, it's coming out as type string because it's a string value. It's not a numeric value. And this gets important in that if I'm storing numbers, I might want to be performing mathematical operations on them. I can't perform mathematical operations on a string. And, maybe I can, but I have to literally cast it or change its type. So that's the different piece. So it's important just to make sure that we watch our types and understand what they are, okay? So I'm going to go back to our original example. I'll rerun, make sure my program works. And I'm just going to do one more print. I'll come down an extra line, so I'm going to do print. We'll do more of these later on in this session. So I'm just going to show how we can actually put the value into a string, okay? So you are %d years old. Okay, and then I'm going to do a space, so don't worry about this too much. We're going to explain this in a later video, as in later on today. Okay, excellent. So it's basically, we're taking our variable age and it's going to be substituted in here instead of %d when it's displayed back out. So it's just showing how we can start to use variables a little bit, okay? So you can see there, you are 21 years old, okay? So there's probably better ways we can do this with interpolation and f strings, and we're going to see that in a later video. This is really just what I want us to get from this, is to get an appreciation of the types, okay? So just as a quick recap, we've assigned a numeric value to our variable called age. We're using the type function to view what type that variable is, basically what it's actually storing, okay? So that lets us interrogate it. Ideally, we could probably just work away with the program and we can see here, okay? You can see one of the cool things as well, when you hover over some of the stuff in the IDE, you can actually see what value it's actually storing. So this, it recognizes that age is an integer value that's storing 21. So that kind of backs up what we have, or what we're seeing when we're seeing something is of class int, okay? So I hope this helps. Any questions, let me know.